these monastic nuns in rural Missouri, #1 is becoming a habit.
In 2012, they were discovered almost by chance.
One of the most unlikely hit records in memory.
Benedictine Sisters.
Benedictines of Mary, Queen of Apostles.
Benedictines of Mary, Queen of Apostles.
Their first album and then a second hit #1 on
Billboard's Classical Artist of the Year in 2012 and 2013.
Welcome back to The World Over Live. That is a bit of the #1 CD on Billboard's classical traditional chart, Easter at Ephesus. It's the latest CD from the Benedictines of Mary. The sisters are the only order of nuns ever to have won Billboard's coveted Classical Traditional Artist of the Year 3 years in a row. What is it about these nuns and their music that so attracts so many? To offer some insight, we welcome back to the program Monica FITZGIBBONS, co-founder of de Montfort Music and the Nuns producer. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Now, what is it, what is the ongoing allure that these nuns have to make people go and continually buy their releases? This is the 4th #1 bestseller for them.
Well, yes, as you say, the story continues to increase.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've talked about this a little bit, but it's definitely true that people are seeking some quieter moments in their life, some peaceful moments in their life. We've had so many different comments now. People are falling asleep to it who can't sleep. Yeah. People are birthing to it. They're dying to it. But most of all, I think that it's just a way for people to find peace because we've lost that in our society.
Tell me about the nature of this new recording. This is Easter at Ephesus. They've had Lent at Ephesus. We've had Advent at Ephesus. I'm waiting for, you know, Flag Day at Ephesus. but what? Tell me what Easter at Ephesus is all about.
Well, it's definitely at Ephesus.
Okay. And Ephesus is their monastery in
yes,
rural Missouri.
Our Lady's Priory at Ephesus. And and the reason why it is at Ephesus is because we record these all at their monastery. And, you know, as Mother Cecilia said, they can't go out into the world. And so we come into the situation, we try to bring different producers in there to sort of have a different, you know, techie look at how they're going to approach this recording, because they all sound a little different. And
because of the different producers on each project.
Yes, exactly. Now on Easter at Ephesus, we all enjoyed working with Christopher Alder, who's now won 11 Grammys. He had won 9 by the time he was at Angels and Saints, but now he's back at Easter at Ephesus. But he brought in, he wanted to bring somebody in from the UK to help him engineer it. And so they, you know, they really got into the whole configuration and how were they going to do it, and they had the sisters stand in different places. And of course, you know, Mother Cecilia has quite a classical background.
Mother Cecilia is the prioress. We're going to see her in a moment.
Yes.
And she has a musical background.
Yes. She graduated from the Shepherd School of Music at Rice. She was a top-seated French horn player, and this was very young in her life, and she got the call, and of course she entered religious life, and the name she got was nothing less than Cecilia.
Yeah, the patron of music. I want to share this with the audience. This is a little taste of the life of the Benedictines of Mary, Queen of Apostles, and you'll hear in a bit Mother Cecilia, the prioress. Listen.
For the simple community of monastic sisters, 45 minutes north of Kansas City, seclusion and simplicity is more than the life they chose. They believe it is their highest calling.
We live a monastic life. That is, we live in a monastery, away, hidden from the world. And the sisters who are here have left everything behind to be here. They've left their families, their homes, all of their possessions, their bank accounts. Some have had jobs, everything, in order to follow the call of God, of our Lord.
So it is a little more than ironic that the voices of these women who spend their days sowing and tending to crops and farm animals would find their way into the ears and spirits of thousands around the globe.
It has touched so many lives, as the narrator said there a moment ago. What is it about these nuns, these particular nuns, and the process of recording them? This really is an outgrowth of their prayer life.
Yes.
I mean, it's not just let's get up and do a tune.
No, this isn't a group that gets together every now and again and has an idea. This is their life. This is a natural expression of what they're doing anyway. And so when we go in, as Kevin always says, Kevin, my husband, who's the co-founder of Montfort with me, he likes to say that when we go in there, we're documenters. We're just there to document them sounding on their best day how they would sound.
Tell me how this whole experience, releasing these CDs, universalizing their music, how has it changed these sisters' lives? Has it brought new vocations to them?
Well, I would say yes, because they have, I think when we first started, working with them, they were around 20, and now I think they're over 30 and have more people, coming and inquiring, such that they need to expand their monastery.
Really?
Which is exciting.
Wow. And they paid off all their debt. I know they were in debt when this whole project started.
Yes, they were. When we first met them, they were praying to Saint Therese and really asking her to help them. Mother Cecilia had become the new prioress, and they had put out some of their own, homegrown CDs, but the system for which they were doing it wasn't prosperous, and so we sat down and talked about what the goals were, and it wasn't only the CD revenues. They also, make vestments. Right. But then they did attract a lot more donors through the mainstream media and exposure. This show, and and it went all the way to CBS and NPR and PBS. So there was a great diversity of media exposure, which was very promising.
Now, I'm going to ask a cheeky question. This is not a new phenomenon. We have had big religious acts that have really broken into that secular market, whether it's the priests or the monks in Spain who had the chant albums almost 2 decades ago now. Is it a fascination with the habits, the hidden life, the what's going on in there? Is that part of the allure?
I think we have to all understand that there's something quite mysterious about this and be open to that. But I think that sort of drew us in. At the same time, we're also talking about, some kind of old school recording mechanisms. So we thought it was interesting to kind of take, the best technology that we could and really bring that out so that we could then transport people essentially to the monastery.
Yeah, and capture this. You discovered these sisters. I mean, you went to the monastery, you got word of them or got a CD from them and decided to go visit.
We did. It was not our intention to go and release 4 #1 chart topping. I mean,
but it's awfully nice when it happens.
It is nice. We'll take it. I mean, we know that if we're going to do it, we had to do it right. And there was this always sense of duty to sort of protect their image and likeness and to take this seriously because
and protect their monastic life, which they have.
Well, I mean, there are times when you really wish they would come out more and do more, be here instead of little old me. But in the end, you realize these are the spouses of Christ, and you best, be on your best behavior.
I came across an interesting stat the other day. 40% of the top 10 Billboard Classical releases in 2014 were de Montfort artists.
And Aim Higher.
Okay, well, those are your companies.
Yes.
What is it about your taste that the rest of the industry is missing, apparently? 40% of the artists in the top 10 is a pretty big number.
It is, and it's exciting. I just heard that actually yesterday. I really think that Kevin and I, having been in the industry for as long as we have been, there's not a genre of music that we haven't touched. And I think taking all of that and just putting it aside and saying, let's go on the adventure of being art collectors has led us to this. And there's been this other supernatural, spiritual component that is very satisfying to be a part of.
Now, there is something intangible when you hear these recordings, whether it's the the boys' choir in Boston,
right,
or the sisters. It communicates something other than melody and rhythm.
Yes.
There's something much more happening. And perhaps that's what people are reacting to,
yeah,
and drawn to. It's that missing element that they don't have in their daily lives.
And we just want to bring it to them in the best way possible so that it can compete with all the other titles that are out there.
And beauty is attractive.
Beauty is attractive. It speaks to the heart.
So what's next? I know you have another Benedictine recording coming, but not nuns.
Right. Well, we've had a lot of requests over the years to release monks. And actually, little known factoid, we tried to sign these monks first.
Really?
We intended to launch De Montfort Music with these monks, and they're the Benedictine monks of Norcia, or Norcia, if you're going to be
very
authentic.
Italiano.
See, there you go. And they're just incredibly musical. You have a prior of this community who's American, has a music background, went to one of the best music schools in the country, the University of Indiana, and there's going to be a lot to talk about because they're coming out June 2nd.
Wow.
It's actually already available on Amazon.
Really? Boy, you're getting ahead of the game.
Well, you know.
All right, we'll be watching in the days ahead and looking forward to what you come out with next. Monica
Thanks,
FITZGIBBONS,
Raymond.
thank you for being here. Easter at Ephesus by the Benedictines of Mary, Queen of Apostles, is available wherever music is sold, including iTunes and, of course, the EWTN Religious Catalog. For more information, visit demontfortmusic.com.
This music is our life. So I think people hear that and it inspires them, reminds them there's something more to this life than what I see with my eyes.